All right, it is currently 6:30 p.m. and this is the light source that remains. It's right here. This is called crossing path. They're walking in the engineer light. This is monitoring. This is why you have what is the maintenance of a light source that's rising and then supposedly setting. This is no iteration of any natural environment. And you're looking at malice while a third-party group stalker is outwardly appearing as though they're just exercising, and they're actually monitoring. This is actually demonic. They're patrolling. They're walking in circles around the property, and they are not driving up the street. They're crossing path. And while one vehicle after another crosses path, it's demonic patrolling. All right. And you're looking at what is engineer light all over the property, including on this tree. Pay attention. This is engineer light. It's 6:30 p.m. Excuse me, 6:13 p.m. It's now 6:14 p.m. And the entity is maintaining engineer light inside of my apartment. And so I want you to see the light source. I want you to see the engineered light that's all over the property, all over the land. All right. This is not sunlight. This is engineered light. Remember the multiple shadows. Remember the light you saw illuminated on my ceiling. That's what covers the land. This is demonic at its core. I want you to see the light source, but then I want you to see the engineered light inside of my apartment. Okay. I want you to see the dynamic light that's on the wall. This is coming through closed blinds, and that light source that you see outside, it's on my pillows here, just touching surfaces. This is the presence of what is constructive presence of the state lacking any warrant or probable cause to place you under surveillance, criminal monitoring in concert with the people, all right, who are maintaining a specific environment as well, and doing so while maintaining real-time knowledge all at once of any and everything that I'm doing inside of the private space. That's the sex offense. And it is also what is occurring in that very specific environment that is maintained. This is an environment. So in other words, remember, demons are stalking in your path with light. This is occurring in the environment. So in other words, you have what are demons that are stalking in the path in light, and it's literally occurring through the environment. And this is what I mean by a population of the demon possessed. This is the secret society that is placing American citizens under surveillance, and this is happening in California, and California is in the United States of America. The American government is literally placing American citizens under surveillance. That's literally what's happening. And it's something that you know as a matter of fact because you are looking at the objective evidence that can be submitted in a federal court. The sun is never, the natural environment, I want to be clear, the sun is never, according to what we've been told and what we've learned, possibly rising and setting at the same location. But this is what the evidence shows you. You're looking at it yourself, and then you're understanding in that phenomenon the significance of everything that is happening, everything that you see and hear. Those are demons that are sounding helicopters and demons that are sounding sirens, while the entity, that is the population of the demon possessed, are at once listening to me expose them. Okay, that is documentation of impunity. That's why Tina Ree and everybody else at Alvarado Gardens are going to federal prison. Right? I want to be clear. This is the ongoing maintenance of that pattern of conduct in the face of the fact that an American citizen is documenting it. And while you are listening to LAPD provide evidence against Tina Ree and against everybody else at Alvarado Gardens who's going to federal prison, remember, everybody at Alvarado Gardens, it's the people of the state. I want to be clear. That's LAPD. I'm going to give you a vivid point. This is in no way detracting. This is ongoing corroboration of the specific environment. This is stalking in that specific environment. This is the practice of demonic activity by a government. This is criminal surveillance by a government. Crossing path in close proximity in that specific environment. That is also the absence of any coincidence while I'm showing you the phenomenon of rising at 7 a.m. and then setting. It is 6:18 p.m. What I want to speak to is the presence of the light source over me at 6:13 p.m. at the same address that I referenced this morning. We're at 7:44 in the morning, where I'm at 204 North Euclid Avenue in Upland, California, and I'm on Route 83. I'm referencing documentation. I uploaded more than one video for you to reference with regard to the wealth of documentation that I already have as to what is not possibly the natural environment. But I specifically mentioned an address to you today, and it's 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid Avenue in Upland, California, where I documented the light source in its zenith over my head after remaining in its zenith while I'm in motion on Route 83 Omnitrans, which is a third-party group stalker, a business whose pockets I'm going to drain, and I'm going to civilly and criminally prosecute that third-party group stalker who was monitoring in concert with that same entity that was stalking with Ontario police. All right, I want to be clear. The documentation is in alignment, perfect alignment with what the LAPD is out here doing with the people of the state, maintaining a specific environment. And that's why at 7:44 a.m., while the light source is over me at 711 at 204 North Euclid Avenue, which is not possibly visible through my living room window, creating any sunlight through my window or into the depths of my apartment at that. But you also know that that's not sunlight because I'm capturing video of what's light that's just manifesting on my ceiling. And then that's when the entity engages in that asininity, that corroborating evidence against all of the people of the state. LAPD is going to be disbanded and they're going to federal prison while they outwardly demonstrate the fact that they are highly demented psychopaths who are obsessively providing evidence as to their criminal system, consciousness of guilt, while they engage in that criminal act beyond a coincidence, while I continuously capture very damning evidence in the specific environment where their criminal system is going to be used against its co-conspirator, who are referred to as the people of the state, who are covered in the evidence at this, by the way. That same address, that same venue at 204 North Euclid Avenue, I'm there at 6:13 p.m. All right, and you will see at 6:13 p.m. third-party group stalker Amazon Prime, who was engaging in, and let me be clear, Amazon Prime, I'm not just harping on them. This is the people of the state. But like I said before, Amazon Prime is documented engaging in what is a long time, a prolonged period, years of targeting me and harassing me. And this is nothing other than the character of the demon possessed that has nothing other than a brand name on them. All right, let me be clear. Amazon Prime is nothing other than Tina Ree and this other demon while you're looking at patrolling. Demons walking in the opposite directions. That's demonic patrolling. What's going on? They're walking in engineered light, the light that you see appearing on my ceiling, and demons would like to appear as though they're normal, and they're focused on me. Those are stalkers. And the entity is maintaining this light source over that 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid Avenue, and you will see Amazon Prime under that light source at 204 North Euclid Avenue, acting in concert with the state of California, bearing a logo while engaging in the same exact criminal system. Where there is no respecter of persons is what you'll learn. There is no exception to that pattern of conduct is what you come to understand. There is no possible way that the sun is setting through my apartment after rising in alignment to my apartment, in the same way that there is no possible way that the sun would create any sunlight, would be at any vantage point where I could see it after, by the way, 11 hours. But in addition, while it's hovering in alignment to me at that same 7-Eleven where I'm present in the morning, I want you to be clear. I captured the phenomenon at two addresses. At 204 North Euclid Avenue, the sun is over me at 7:44 a.m. At 204 North Euclid Avenue, the sun is in perfect alignment to me at 6:13 p.m. That's exactly what I documented here in Los Angeles. That's the pattern of conduct. This is a demon-possessed population is what I want you to understand first, and that is legally relevant. It shall be the prosecution of the state, a public entity that is under the influence of a demonic entity. This is demon possession. This is demonic activity underway by a government, employing demonic ritualistic tactics or methods of targeting an American citizen, and it is exceptionally criminal because it's the government that's practicing this demonic activity, providing ongoing evidence of that demented mind state while demons are flying helicopters. Demons are flying helicopters while I just so coincidentally, no. Those are demons that know that they're being documented and prosecuted that engage in flying helicopters in the specific environment where you're seeing the sun rising and setting at the same address. That's called the pattern of conduct. There's an absence of any coincidence there, and it is directly corroborating evidence against the people of the state who are deliberately present, who are deliberately engaging in action that is not coincidentally also maintaining a specific environment and accomplishing what is criminal monitoring. All right, a highly demented pattern of conduct that is designed to torment, harass, and monitor, keep under surveillance, also in violation of Title 18, Section 22618, subsections 1 and 2. All right, this is the people of the state is how they're legally referred to, and they are violent sex offenders. Knowing when I'm pulling my panties down at the moment that they decide to cross path on Alvarado Street, okay, or walk outside of their gate like the Caucasian male with the hello on his garage. All right, these are sex offenders. These are the demon possessed that know what you're doing. Know when you're moving your big finger while you've got your hand in your pocket. Demons know what you're doing. Demons are under this condition, and it's a physically invisible. But I want to be clear, you understand them, you know them by their deeds. So it says. You know them by where they're at and what they're doing. And it's legally relevant. It's something capable of being submitted in a court. And it is the demonic feature is nothing that is outside to be left outside of the doors of the tribunal. It's welcomed into. It's providing ongoing context of the malice of a government that's targeting American citizens in violation of your constitutional and human rights. So I want to be clear, the engineered light that you're seeing day in and day out, not only is it demonic on its face, serving for what is criminal presence, constructive presence by the state that is stalking in that specific environment, lacking any warrant or probable cause. It is the direct evidence. It is an admission. It is the ongoing criminal system that is necessarily occurring in the presence, the maintenance, the 24-hour ceaseless maintenance of the people of the state, where you live, where you work, and everywhere that you go. And even on a so-called cloudy day, the people of the state are obsessively maintaining group presence and compensating, supplementing, creating, manifesting, maintaining that presence in your path with light. Okay, that is always the case. That is the pattern of conduct, and it is always ceaselessly, systematically, cyclically underway. It is currently 6:24 p.m., and this is the maintenance of that light source. I'm going to upload this video documentation, and like I told you yesterday, where you saw the light source hovering over this, over my apartment, over this edge, the edge of this covering right here, while you saw Amazon Prime so boldly engaging in criminal conduct, Amazon, every time I document them, Amazon Prime is being bold, because only an idiot would submit themselves to being documented so audaciously in the way that the entity has. And it is no suggestion of ignorance or innocence whatsoever. You are surrounded by the body of evidence. And I want to be clear, Amazon Prime was engaging in threatening my life when I was in Upland, California at 7:44 in the morning, and that same venue where 11 hours later at 6:13 p.m. the light source is there, and I'm being molested and accosted with directed light, and a demon that is bearing nothing other than a logo engaging in that same exact demonic system in concert with that state that follows me from place to place, and police vehicles and helicopters and ambulances and fire trucks, demons, psychopaths sounding sirens while they're flying around in relevant position, listening to every syllable that I'm uttering with regard to their fate. I want to be clear, Amazon Prime was targeting me then, and they were targeting me just like you saw yesterday, while that light source that's never going to be in Upland, California, while it's remaining over my apartment, over the edge of my living room at 10:47 in the morning like you saw today, and over the edge of this like you saw yesterday at 3:15. A span of 6 hours, as though the sun is going to take that long to go over one apartment building, as though the sun is ever going to rise and set in alignment to one apartment building. Remember, it's not just remaining over the property. It's not like we're looking at it over there over building 1800. It's over my apartment, in alignment to my apartment, aiming engineered light in my apartment. And I just so happen to have documentation of what is an entity maintaining this specific environment everywhere that I go. This phenomenon is occurring everywhere that I go, and it is not possibly the natural environment, nor is anybody else in the state of Florida, like I like to point out, experiencing, witnessing, surrounded by the natural environment, because this is evidence, conclusive evidence, that the sun never entered the state of Florida today. Okay? So like I said, never forget the bigger picture. Amazon Prime, which represents the people of the state, the commercial means of stalking, in concert with the state in that specific environment, and a very highly malicious psychopath, demons that are being hired by companies who support criminal surveillance in the United States, who like to further threaten and harass and intimidate and engage in more demonic gang stalking behavior, as Amazon Prime has been directly documented engaging in. Reference what I was documenting while I was staying at Economy Inn at 2301 South Euclid Avenue. Some very, very telling documentation, which Amazon Prime is going to compensate me for. Okay. And that's a matter of justice. You will compensate, you will drain the pockets of the people of the state that are in this country making money off of the American people while placing them under surveillance, terrorizing them, sexually violating them. Amazon Prime monitoring me inside of my private space, coming onto the grounds, not coincidentally on the same day that I'm speaking about them having been previously documented. There are no coincidences in the specific environment. Everything that I say is published. Everything is a matter of public information. That's why there's sex offenders that are going to be placed on a list maintained by the Department of Justice as group stalkers, a violent sex offense. All right, it is currently 6:28 p.m., and I will digress here. That's P.O.C.